Can you hear me?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. All right. So I would like to, first of all, welcome you to the class. And what we are going to do today is just start with an orientation to the class.
It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is my computer reminding me of what the time is because sometimes I forget. So I first of all wanted to tell you how we are gonna do the Zoom. I use two computers, like one is a laptop, the other is an iPad. And I will use the laptop to record and make sure that it's always recording our lectures. And then I use the iPad primarily to be able to write because I can write on it in real time. So you can see when we have the lectures, what I would like to solve some examples, for example, to respond to some questions. And then I will use the iPad to do that because it's difficult to write on a laptop. And also it's difficult to work only with an iPad because it's limited in its way. So you cannot see me while I'm writing. So that is one thing. And I found over last year specifically that it's a lot more easy to work like this. So that's how we're going to do it every morning. And so a couple of things about the class and the way I'm teaching in this class. So what I will do is I will use my iPad here to get into Canvas, and we are going to use exclusively Canvas. All of the information is going to be there. This is the only one we are going to use for everything. So there isn't going to be anything anyplace else but in Canvas. So I'm trying to get there, and I believe I am there already. I will capture here the screen so you can see what I see on my iPad. So let me see, share here, share screen and broadcast, start. Okay, so you will see what I see on my iPad. And here is the screen that we have. I will go to Canvas and I'm gonna go to our class. Okay, so in a couple of things. I am teaching two sections of the same class. One is this one in the morning, and the other is in the afternoon, and it's a face-to-face class. I'm going to do more or less cover the same material. And of course, the classes will be different because, different enough on the basis of the fact that there will be different students who will participate, may have different needs in terms of some examples they will solve there in real time. But if I do anything extra in either class, then I will make sure that the extra examples that I have done in one section or another, I will put also in both sections so people will have access to it. So now what I would like to do is to take you through the syllabus, because I would like you to read that and syllabus. And the syllabus, you see, I'm using different visuals. because the visual somehow, so I have to tell you a little bit about my research and then you will understand. So I'm an electrical engineer, but I do nowadays work on including intelligence in electronics, and I've learned a lot about how the brain works. I don't know, I'm not an expert, obviously. I just learned a few things. So visuals help the brain a little bit get on the alert, especially visuals that are moving. And so I'm using some of those so it attracts your attention to some things. Here, it starts talking, it says a little bit about myself in case you are curious to find out. And also here, then after I say about who I am and what I've done in my career, I've been around for many years, graduated in 1984 from with my PhD. So now you can calculate how many years I've been a faculty member. And I've learned a lot. So I am teaching in a slightly different way than the other faculty. I've made the decision to teach the classes differently because I found that the traditional teaching is not necessarily improving the capability of someone to learn. So the one thing that you learn is that the brain does not learn by penalty. The brain learns by motivation. So it does not matter of if you decide, for example, not to submit a homework or to submit it late, it does not matter if I penalize you with points. You will do this again. So I don't do that. I mean, of course, we have deadlines, and the moment the solution for the homework makes it out, and I normally do the solution either immediately after the deadline of the homework or after, but I'm in a short period of time after the solutions are due or your homework is due. And the moment the solutions are out, then I'm not going to be able to grade your homework. But I'm not going to penalize you if you're delayed by a minute, few minutes, that is not my point. I will give you, however, so penalties are very rare and a few, and only for some major violations. I've never had to deal with that practically, I tell you, in my experience, at least at Texas A&M. I will try to give you a lot of reasons to do well in the class. But it takes two for you to learn. It's not just me trying to motivate you. You have to try yourselves to find the reasons you take this class. And I will help you see why this class is important as a foundation for a lot of other things that you're going to learn in your in your profession, in electrical engineering, no matter which direction you go. So in this class, you don't compete with each other. In this class, you compete with yourself. And why am I saying that? Because I grade in a different way. I don't know whether there is a name for the grading that I'm doing, but the grade is, my goal in this class is not to grade you. That's not the outcome I'm looking at. My goal is this class, my outcome, personal outcome that I value will be what you learn in this class. And the grade then is just the result of the learning, all right? So in this class, and I will go to this, we'll accumulate points. So, and then what I do is I look at the maximum number of the points we accumulated. And then I don't curve from there. So I don't say that 10% will get or 30% will get an A and another 30% will get a B. I don't do that. I set ahead of time the bands which will qualify for A, for B, and for C, or below, hopefully not. If you all learn and you all get the points, so you qualify for band A, I have no problem giving everybody an A. As long as I think that my grade truly represents your effort and your learning. And so also, at this point, I will make a break. And I would like to remind you that you can interrupt me anytime in this class. It's very hard for me to lecture and then look at chatting, how many of you had a question or whether somebody has raised a hand, even if I see that a little easier. Just interrupt me. If you have a question, then it's okay for you to speak out. All right. So I just want to tell you that if you have any question in what I'm saying today, just ready to ask me in real time. Don't wait. So as I said, going back to grading, and you will see that I value work more than anything else. And I will explain to you why. I'm not trying to find who is smart and who is not. You have already proven, all of you, 100%, that you are extremely smart. That's why you are in this class. Otherwise, you would not be here today. So that has already been done by the university, by all of the other tests that you went through in your life. So you are very smart. You qualify for this class. What makes a difference here is how much work you're willing to put. In life too, when you go out to work, those of you who will work and will be motivated and will put your effort in there, you will do well. And work is only the only thing that differentiates those of you who do well and those of you who do not. I've had many examples of people who came to this class with variable foundations, either in mathematics or in physics. And I've had numerous examples where these people, those who had a weaker foundation for whatever reason, did equally well and came out of this class with the same knowledge and expertise like anybody else because they worked hard. So I value work, and for everything that I give you, you're going to collect points. And I will come to this next. So textbook. I've looked at many textbooks. There is not really a perfect one. This time I found the book by Sadiku because it has very explicitly developed examples that are extremely helpful. We were using another one, Fawaz Ulabi's textbook, and Fawaz Ulabi is a very close friend of mine, but the textbook is a little difficult to read and teach from. So we're moving to Matthew Sadiku. Okay, I will have a lot of notes in this class. And as I will show you, I'll put everything on the web, but you will have to read my notes too. Not ahead of time, unless I ask you to do something ahead of time. But you need at least to be familiar. So before you start the class, I don't want you to, while I'm lecturing, to look at what I have posted. Just take 5 minutes before the class, go through and see what I have made available. And don't do it during the class. So you can pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, Zoom recordings. Usually I take the video recordings and I put them on YouTube, and then I connect those recordings to YouTube. And then I link to them from the class. So you will see how I'm gonna do the one today, and you will not normally see them the next day, unless there is a reason to make them immediately available. Usually it takes a couple of hours to go through this process. Okay, two things that I would like to draw your attention to. In this class, we're going to use TabHat. This is a software that I have found extremely useful. And then it's part of our learning. It's an online tool. I believe you pay $35 for the semester, but you also can use it for any other class if you use it in that class. This one gives us an opportunity. It's an online tool. You don't have to be in the same class to participate in it. You can participate in it from an iPhone, from any laptop, from any distance you are, even if you are in a different country. I hope not. But in any case, the TabHat is we're gonna use it for exercises and quizzes. The ones that I would like to do in class or just a short time after the class. Sometimes we will try to do them during the class. We're gonna have the first example on Friday. So there is information here. I will show you where to find information about TabHat. And I would like you to go and sign up. So then the other thing is that we are going to be in Teams. You may have already seen that. I will talk about Teams next. Okay. Having said that, if you go to home, you are going to see then the visuals here is you can click on this and you see Zoom hours, for example. But then from here we start every week. Every week is one module. So for example, here, since I talk about TabHat, if you click on this, you come to TabHat. This one, look at this today and sign up. It gives you all of the information on how to sign up for the class. The course link is the one that you see up here. And if I click on this, then you enter. For me, I am at Texas A&M. I'll put my email. And then let me see if I remember that. Okay, it's not that, sorry. There's another one. No. Let me see. Okay. I have to type one of those carefully. There. I typed it wrong. So this one, it gives you the first day, but for me, I can go to just TabHat. In fact, after I will create a direct link. And here, why did it take me there? Login. Okay. Classes. In any case, you will be able to I don't know why it takes me to the toolkit. I will try to close this one. Okay, I'll show you how I do it myself later. But you're going to be able to connect. This one takes you to the toolkit. I will try to probably I use the wrong link, but I will try to use the right link for the class. And you should try it, but get on the TabHat and then register. And you will be able, then we are going to go through it on Friday. So you will see. So in any case, going from here, this is how to, so I will correct that to see exactly what I have done. But this is how to register, and you will see our class. If you enter the number of the class, you will see what it is. I have included the one that it is for us. And then from there on Friday, I'll show you how to use it. In any case, going back now to, now I would like to go to home again. And then, so here, for example, orientation. Orientation gives here why we learn in teams. So here is the grading philosophy. We're going to have points for everything. And those points are added into your totals. And then I'll give you in-class exercises, very simple ones. You're going to get, for example, a total of 30 points for an exercise, but 15 points will be for participation. And 15 points is going to be for accuracy. So the important thing, I'm equally important in participating in the exercises and of course, in doing well. I'm going to give you bonus points every time you achieve a particular level in either the homeworks or in the exercises or the quizzes. And you can read those. I don't want to go one at a time. And then you will put everything for the assignment. This is an estimate of the points that we can get in this class. I will update it as we move forward, but we go close to it, not exactly. But I wanted to show you here how I do the grading. If we achieve a total of 4,200, say, points, the first 1,000 points will get an A. The next 1,000 points will get a B, and so forth. It's easy to get an A with bonuses because in these ones, what I normally do is I exclude the bonuses and I place you on the curve without the bonus points, and then I will give you the bonus points and see where you move on this graph. So with the bonus points that you get, or whatever other bonus I give in this class, you will be able to move up, hopefully, really, only up, and then find yourself in the appropriate location. So if everybody gets between 3,200 and 4,200, then you get an A. I'm not curving after you get the points. And usually the top number is the top that anyone is going to achieve in this class. Because if I give you something that is very hard and nobody can get it, then obviously I'm not going to use that as the maximum grade. Okay, incomplete grade. People who miss a lot from this class, they will get an incomplete. Because obviously I will not have enough to be able to give you a grade. So that is another thing that I want to tell you. I will slow at this point, slow down a little bit, and then see if you have any questions.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
So for the registering top hat, the website, it asks um 4 months or for a year thing, and then I was wondering if I can choose the 4 months thing
Of
instead.
course.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, most of the students do that.
Okay.
Absolutely. And even that I use it, I go on a month to month, excuse me, semester to semester, not month to month. I go on a semester to semester.
Okay, sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Professor, I guess I have a question too, if I
Of
may.
course. Yes.
Regarding Top Hat again. So I actually signed up for Top Hat yesterday and I selected the one. There were actually two
Yes.
choices when I searched for the courses. It was ECEN 322,
Yes.
but only one of them said spring 2021. And that's the one
Don't
I signed
worry,
up
maybe,
for.
yes, that's good. Did it say 501?
They both said 501 and 200, but only one said spring 2021. That's the one I signed up for. I mean, I assume that's the correct one.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me. I need to go back and check to see how they've done it.
Okay, thank you.
But it's good. Thank you for telling me.
Okay.
It's good. Yeah, go and sign for the one that says spring. And I will make sure that the other one, I have not met with the other class yet. I will make sure that the other one is for 502.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so for all of these, please go to 501 spring, and I will work with them to correct the other course for the afternoon class. Great, thank you. Any other questions? Yes, the group me is great, let me tell you. I would love also to join it because I don't participate. I like you to connect and work with each other. I don't want you to copy each other, but I would like you to help each other if there are questions. Instead of telling somebody, help me solve the problem, you can ask them a question that will help you solve the problem. That's perfectly all right. Usually, everybody, that's how we learn, all right? We don't learn in isolation. That's another thing about the brain. And it's important. The brain learns with socializing the concepts with others. So I want you to have those discussions. I look at the group me, and if I see that you get stuck, then I will give you a hint. How about that? So it's helpful. But other than that, I love the idea of people collaborating, but not copying. So great. And thank you, Leo, for placing the number for the top hat. All right. Now, let me go back to home. Let me see what okay. Now here, let's take the 4 forces of nature. That's an example. We're not going to do that. When you go, you will see that I will have, sometimes I will have a PowerPoint when I think a PowerPoint is easy to do. Here we'll talk about this on Friday. We'll introduce our concepts. And then also if you go a little further down, not in this one, but in another lecture, let me go back. Where was I? Okay. I need to find out in this particular one how to go back, but let me go back here. On a laptop, it's easier. Okay, but if you go to fields and forces, then here I have something or similar, but with equations in a Word file form. And I arrange all of those so that you have access to the material, and instead of typed, it might be my notes, because when we go down to very specific equations and stuff, it's so painful to use to type things. So for example, here, let me show you something where I have my notes. I think I write well. So here are my notes, all right? So you can see them that I write, because I mean, if I were to type this, it would have been horrible. Now, one thing that I want to tell you, my notes, use them as a summary. Do not read only outlines. All right, I know that that's how we start. Me too. When I start learning something, I don't get to dive into details. I want to have a good idea of the overall. And then let me just release my screen for a moment. Okay. What I wanted to say is when you look at material, start with something that will give you a good summary, but don't stop there. A summary is just the beginning. You have to go into details. What I love about the book is that the book has a lot of examples. Now, I would start when there is homework to solve or whether there is something else you want to work on related to the class. I would like to start with, I would like you to start with the summaries or whatever else I have in there. If you have questions about the lecture, something I said in the lecture, you can go to the video. However, go to the book. The book has examples. One thing that I found when I was a student is that I will not necessarily contain myself in whatever it was given to me. If I felt that solving the problems that I was given in class gave me some understanding, but I needed more examples, I would go and solve more examples. I would find other books and try to do that. So the reason I'm saying this is the brain learns by two things. First of all, by having usually when you learn a new example, the brain puts it in the short memory. You have to remember that. And then the brain is not going to put that into your long-term memories until you have recalled your short-term memories enough times. Otherwise, what happens is that, and the brain is kind of very deceiving in that regard. When you put something in your short memory, you think you really know it. And then you go home a day later, you know nothing. It's like, or maybe a week later, it's like it's a new concept. So for example, you see the library behind me. I put a lot of books that I had in my office since I started teaching from home with the COVID. I brought a lot of books here. And then I was looking at a book. I opened a book the other day. It's like I've never seen this book before. And I saw all of these notes that I had put on this book as a graduate student. And I was thinking, oh my God, this is what I studied all of these things. And I had no idea what those things were about. I probably had to go back to class to take this. So of course, that's an extreme example, but I wanted to tell you that you have to recall the concepts multiple times, not like the same way you do the first time when you learn them, but you have to recall the concept. So the brain recalls the information from the short memory enough times, and then it places it in the long-term memory, and then you remember it. You need to know how the brain works to be able to learn. So that's what the class has been designed. So we have small opportunities to recall things periodically. So for example, the exercises I'm giving you. The exercises are not going to necessarily test what you learned in the class this morning. You will probably hear concepts that you've learned in the beginning of the week or the previous week, and they will do that. The exercise is like it's like a multiple choice. So it will tell you, what do you think about X, A, B, C, or D? But the fact that you have to respond, it forces you to recall a concept that you heard for the first time a few days before then. And that then with homework too, or maybe with a quiz, or maybe another discussion, you're going to have a period of 2 weeks or so where you're going to have to recall that concept in your memory. And that is going to eventually help your brain put it in the long term. When you put it in the long term, you're going to remember it. And that's how learning takes place. That's number one. So short, but repeated recalls of the concept. Second, by socializing the concepts. That's why I put you in teams. That's the other thing I wanted you to see. In fact, in a second, let me also share my screen. I put you in teams randomly, obviously, because I don't know you. And it is a large class, so it will be difficult to do a very individualized, team selection. So if we go here, Okay, let's go to people. And then we'll go to groups. Okay. Each one of you probably can find yourself in a group. I've made the groups to be a maximum of 4, and one has only 3 students. Now, this, if you have a good reason of joining another group, first of all, let your team know that you may be looking to join something else for whatever reason. You don't have to explain, just say I have a reason to move. And then I will figure out how to make that exchange, but I cannot do similar things at scale. If everybody now wants to go to another team, I will have to write a program to do this, and I don't have it. So in those few cases where you have a good reason, approach me and let your team, and I will make the change. Some students may leave the class for whatever reasons. So we will not know how many students finally we are going to have in this class until possibly in a week and a half from now. And so you are going to stay with this group. So we are not going to finalize them until then. But here is what I would like you to do in your teams. In your team, I will give you team exercises. So part of the homework is going to be individual. And one component of your homework is going to be a team exercise. And in the team exercise, you're going to have only one submission for the team. And every member of the team is going to get the same grade. If a person does not show up and you have to do the work for this person, then you will need to tell me. And then we'll try to resolve it. Either figure out that the person has dropped the class, as it happens sometimes. You don't see this person because they've dropped out for whatever reasons, and then we don't know it, or something else, but we'll solve this together. The reason I put you in teams because I want you to work and socialize your ideas. Zoom is very easy to do that. When I started using Teams for learning, a lot of students were telling me that was before the COVID, before the virus. The students will tell me, well, we cannot get together to solve the problem. You don't need to get together. I mean, with Zoom, I work with my graduate students via Zoom. I work with my colleagues on important topics via Zoom. Zoom is, in fact, even better for collaboration. You can create a Zoom link and then your team can be there. I'm not going to do it for you, but you can create a Zoom link among the members of your team and then get together and talk about a topic and do some work together. There is no excuse anymore to say, well, I could not get on the Zoom because I could not find time. I don't believe in that. So work together, because by talking to each other, you will learn. The reason I say that is I don't mind if you use any type of sources to solve problems for your homework. Everything I will give you is going to be everything open. Homework and finals, I make those myself, and midterm. I make those myself. I don't copy them from anything else. They're not similar to what I gave before. And now, the only thing somebody told me, because I've never done this before, that there are some students, not in my classes, I don't know, that pay to get solutions. I hope we're not going to do that. This is really against any ethical rules, all right? I don't want you to become engineers where the degree does not belong to you, but it belongs to somebody else. I know these are extreme situations. I know it's hearsay. And so I don't pay attention to a lot of hearsay nowadays. But if this is true that this is happening, I'm sure anything happens. But I wanted to say that it's not like that I will report anybody for violation of ethics unless something comes and I have clear evidence. But think about it. For engineers, if you don't learn things and you go and practice engineering and you don't know things well, people die. Um, I have a question here. I will stop there for a moment. Nikolai is asking me whether you have been put into groups. Yes, you have, and you should be able to see your group, Nikolai. So I don't know how to do this though, because if I go to the student view, it's not going to show me a group since I'm not there. Okay, so you will have, thank you for replying to him, William. All right, so when engineers do not know what they're doing, people die. You need to remember that. And a few times where the problem has been an engineering problem, we are responsible. All right, for those of you who will work on an aircraft for electronics, if anything goes wrong, and if we don't have the ethics to say no to what they want us to do that is not working, or to do something without exactly knowing what we are doing, then we are responsible for the lives of people. So it's not like an artist that if you don't know how to do good art, you will never sell something. Engineering, people die if we don't know how to do the things right. So I would expect you to ask for help. Come to me and tell me, I cannot solve this problem, and I will sit down and help you solve it. But don't ask somebody to solve it for you, or don't copy it. You can ask questions. How about this? How do you do this? And then after you find information, go and do it yourself. Anything is open, because we live in a totally open source environment. But when you go on the web and when you find an answer, read it. And don't just give an answer to me without comprehending what it is. I'll give you an example. In a class, I asked people in a midterm to tell me what a resonance was in electronics. And I had people who responded to me and gave me an answer, not for an electronic resonance, but for a mechanical resonance, because they had downloaded this answer. And I was thinking, why would anybody give me an answer for a mechanical resonance? Obviously, they did not think about it very much. So I don't care if you go to the web and search for an answer, but before you write it or before you use whatever, ask yourself, try to find out whether it's correct. There is a lot of incorrect information on the web. And the most important thing for us to learn is how to check it out, how to make sure that whatever information you get is correct before you use it. So that's another thing. Now, I think with this, I may have missed something, and I would like you to ask me any questions if you have at this point. Well, I don't see anything, but I have put a survey and I ask you to do it by tomorrow evening. The survey is, I want a few things that will help me and you. You're going to get 20 points out of the survey for those of you who will fill it out. I want to know a few things, and maybe some advice you can give me what makes you more productive in an online class. So I can, if I get this information, I'll read everything. I may not be able to address everybody's concerns, but at least I will know what the concerns are. And I will tell you in aggregates of what I learned. Also, it's going to give me some information that will help me in selecting some of the things you will do as teams. And so this information is important. That is what I wanted to say about the class. And please, everything is on, this survey is on Canvas. And if you go in quizzes, that's where you find the surveys. It's right, that's what it is. You see it? It says a few words about yourself. And in fact, if I go and click on it, I don't know, here, preview. There it is. Don't use too many words. I gave you, it's like an essay. So one says, what is the one thing that, starts with using a few words, describe the topic you have enjoyed learning about the most while at TAMU. I left a word about, but in any case. What is the one thing that concerns you about this class? Just as you come into this class, what is the one thing that concerns you? What is the one suggestion you would like to make to me that would make your experience in this class better? And is there anything else you would like me to know about you that you think is important? So all of these obviously are confidential surveys. I'm going to be reading them. I'm not asking you to say anything personal. If there is something you need to share with me in person, then please let me know, and we are going to have a separate Zoom for a discussion. You are free, any one of you, if for any reason wants to speak with me. We also have other outside the Zoom hours for office hours. Then you email me and we get on the Zoom and we talk. Office hours. If you go to Zoom, okay, here you're gonna see our classes. I started at 7:30 so people can get on it. And at 4:30, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 4:30 until 6:30, I have office hours. So you can join me there for questions, or you can, if you have something personally you have to discuss with me individually, email me. And there. All right, so any other questions you may have about me or about the class? Yes, about me too. You wanna know something? Anything? I don't, okay, so I don't think, all right. So what yes, the honors credit. Thank you for asking, John. Since I have you in teams, what I would like to do is I will see how many honor students will stay in this class, and I will ask the honor students to do like a small project. It's not going to be different or in addition to anything else. Your project may be a little different than the other projects for the rest of the class, which is going to classify it as an honors credit for this class. So that's how you're going to receive an honors credit. I'll put all of the honors students we'll have in this class in one team to do a project towards the end. Is that okay? If for some reason, let me see. Yes, okay, good. Thank you, John. Yes, you can request to have people you know in your group. But my hope is that the whole class will get to know each other. Now, if you have students that you normally meet regularly for other classes, you are in other groups, then yeah, if that makes it easier for you to connect, absolutely. Yeah. But I hope that it's going to be to a limited extent. So I don't have to redo everything, I mean, the combination of 60 students, oh my God, is like 60 factorial. So I don't want to get there. But I have to say, yes, I will send me your notes and send me your request. In fact, the survey is a way to do this. All right, that's what I said. If you want anything else for the instructor to know, that's the place where you can say that, and I will see what I can do. How many requests I have for a change? Okay, and I will try to do my best. Great. Well, thank you very much. And I hope we'll have fun in this class. Really, it's a fun class. And we'll start on Friday. So I'll be on office hours today. If you want to have any other additional questions, you can join me in Zoom, or I'll see you on Friday. Okay? Thank you.